whole point right here is I forget to mention that he's singing this intro song, and I forgot
There's a little tidbit.
Looks like we're live, everyone.
Kevin, do not eat your microphone.
Did someone say that?
No, you were like,
Oh, let's not do that. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the 21 Gun Podcast. If you guys saw that, Jeremy, come on. We got him. Don't worry, guys.
I got it.
Here we go. Here.
It wasn't clicking.
If you got, that's what, always an excuse with you enlisted folks. If you guys noticed, we were dancing in the background, and I was just saying, okay. When you're on, I think it's Instagram or maybe it's YouTube, and you get those like little reels, you know what I'm talking about? Like the little videos. You know, you get like 30-second clips.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm such a boomer. I can't anymore.
You're a boomer.
Oh my
Anyways, I love watching. There's one girl, her name is like That Dancer or something. Blue eyes, like head shaved on the side, big long hair. I love watching it. I'm a 12-year-old girl when it comes to, I don't know why. It's fascinating because there's always 2 or 3 of them and they're moving in sequence and it almost looks like they're doing, like they're altering the video, but they're not. It's just in their movements. I have no idea what she's called. It's like that dancer or something.
I can think of about 3 other reasons why you're a 12-year-old girl.
It's not from this big burly beard that I shaved down. Anyways, welcome to the 21 Gun Podcast, the official podcast of the Irreverent Warriors. The tamest, this is my new thing. I'm going to say it's the tamest show on the internet.
Wow.
Not recently. Recently, we haven't been tame, but we're reeling it in. We're just pulling it back a little bit, telling everyone to relax. We're trying to make friends here. We're trying to make friends. I'm talking to you. Look, this is what they used to do in the old days. I'm talking to the audience. We're just trying to be friendly over here, and we don't want to offend anyone. So,
That's what you want to
so now we are the tamest.
Yep.
Or lamest. Or the lamest.
It's for the kids.
Anyways, I'm your host, Kevin Sullivan, voted one of the top 10 journalists. Do you know what? Should I just keep using that?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
I'm the
it.
top 10 veterans in journalism.
You got it.
Yeah. So, and then we also have Jeremy over here, one of the top 10 producers of the top 10 veterans in journalism of 2020.
What are they going to do, fight you?
That's right.
You got me.
Yeah,
You got
please
Black
do.
Up. You got me. I got you.
And I'm
please
old
do.
and a former MMA fighter. Yeah, that's all I got pretty much for our intro. Here's something that's really cool. I got someone reached out to me because we're talking about the veterans in journalism.
Yeah.
Someone reached out to me, a talent agency, and guess who's reading? I think that's the lingo. Matt Reeves. Don't call him Matt Reeves. Chime in if I'm telling the right thing. I'm doing a table read for being.
Right.
Did I tell you?
Yeah, you texted me. And
I texted
tell
you.
me more. I don't know
Okay,
about this.
for
Tell me
for
more.
a new History Channel documentary series, and it's like about different battles and stuff. Apparently, she reached out to a bunch of veteran podcasters. So now and you know what? Most likely, I can't do it. I got so much shit going on. There's no way I can do it. But it's kind of cool, right?
Dude, I would do that.
So and then here's the other
100%.
thing.
Now, did you notice?
100%. I'd squeeze out some time for that. 100%.
See, they said they want to hear his voice, not see his face.
Yeah, it's going to be a voiceover. No. It's totally here. We have on the National Defense Service Medal Couch recipient, EOD Frank over there.
It's for the kids.
That's
It's all
right.
For the kids.
That's right. Jeremy calls him philosophical Frank. And you know why? Because
Those
they both
nuts,
start
man.
with an F.
Those nuts.
Frickin' Marines.
With a P.
It's those mints, man.
So we got a great show for you today. Let me just take over here. We got a great show for you tonight. We have Jacob Fry and I believe Justin Evers, their coordinators on the Lincoln, Nebraska Silkies hike. We also have Juan Baret from the Baret Bats. I keep saying Barrett because I'm thinking of the gun. Baret Bats. Wonder where he got that name. We should ask him. Juan is an Air Force veteran, engineer, technician, baseball bat maker, glove designer, artist, entrepreneur, and youth baseball supporter. He also combines his love for baseball with work and life experiences to help him inspire others to achieve their dreams. Nice. With this aim in mind, he founded Baret Bat and Glove Company. Really cool story. He has a art exhibit or whatever. He's going to be part of an exhibit at the Smithsonian Institute, which I think is kind of cool. So if you want to chime in, people always they put their little notes on the side there. First off, make sure that StreamYard can put your name up. How do you do it? It's like
so when you go to access the stream, it says at the bottom, please allow StreamYard access to your Facebook comments. Just click on that. It's a quick yes, and then we can see what's coming up because we have people like, Sully, is it a Vietnam documentary you're interviewing for?
Yes.
We have
Yeah,
no
that
idea
sort
who
of
you're
thing.
saying.
Right. Yeah.
Or
So
who's
yeah,
saying.
put that in, and that's your way of participating in the show. Or if it gets a little crazy, we've done this in the past too. Reach out and maybe we'll pull you up on the show. I got to figure out a way to do call-ins. I know there's a way. I just don't know it yet. So people can actually just call. We can be like, so-and-so's on the phone.
With our Irreverent group, you really want them to call in?
Yes.
Oh, wait. We're the tamest show on the internet.
That's right. It's for the kids. I keep forgetting.
Next week, we have the mustache himself, Nick Culpepper, sitting in the NDSM chair. And I believe you're going to come back. Are you going to come too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can't not. Because he's not going to have a beard. So I have the beard has to be represented.
Yeah. You gotta
It's
have the other
facial hair,
side of
though.
it.
It's
You gotta
facial
have the
hair.
other side.
I agree. At some point, the streak is going to be broken. And not Matt Reeves, who was on the couch a few weeks ago, that was a pretty weak beard. That was almost.
But he still had something.
I went. Do you know what I did? He got up to the seat. And I pointed to the first base ump, and he was like,
No go.
No, that's safe. So he was good. Okay. Or no swing, whatever. If you want to sit in the chair, if you're local or if you're not local, say you're in town for a hike, hit me up. Send me an email, kevin@21gun.net. Apparently people just reached out to Jeremy, Insane Marine 69. Dude, you know how annoying it is for me to say your email address?
It's not annoying. It's more along the lines of like, I'm embarrassed that I have to say 69 at the end.
Yes.
And
I'm running, like, I'm doing all this nonprofit stuff. And I got the list of everyone's emails, and I'm like, okay, doctor, here is Joe Schmo at Gmail, and Schmo Joe at Yahoo, and Insane Marine 69 at Gmail.
So there's actually a story behind it, and it's not as perverted as you think it is.
It is. It's 100. There's no way a Marine uses 69 at the end of his name and is not thinking in the sexual context.
At the time that the email was made, no.
He wasn't the 70th person. Come on, man.
All right, we got to move along. This is our first show since the Wilmington hike. We had a really good time down there. We did a live show. It was really cool. Actually, do you want to bring up? We'll show you what we did on this live show. We're going to try to do more of this. You remember her name? I don't, because
yes. So let me pull this up. And
so this is the sort of thing we're going to try to do more often. Look at that.
We have
handsome
someone
guy.
coming in right now.
We have someone coming in
So
right now.
we're going to pass the mic.
So we're going to pass the mic.
I would do my best Beastie Boys impersonation, but all right, come on in. What you have to do is just talk really, really close to it. Jeremy, go find someone else too. All right,
Hold on,
so
pause.
Yep, I was going to get
Pause.
Really?
Okay, continue.
Wow.
Continue.
So this is Christy Collins. She's a good friend of mine, and she was at the hike, and Kevin's like, hey, go bring somebody cool over this time. I was like, all right, fine.
what's your name?
I'm Christy.
Okay, I couldn't hear you out there, so I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what's
super
going on.
loud.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys can hear me, so this works a lot better. So, Christy, are you active duty? Are you a veteran?
So I was active duty for 4 years.
Okay.
I am now in the Air National Guard.
Okay.
because I'm going to school to try to commission as an officer.
I might want to chime
Nice,
in
nice.
here.
So, obviously,
that
you're Air Force. What's
I'm
your job?
noticing
When I was active, I was a weapons
in a
simulation
narcissistic
technician.
way
Okay.
Now
how
I
broad
am
my
medical
shoulders
admin,
look
so I work
since
in medical
going on the
Okay,
juice.
very cool. So you said you're
Jesus. Well,
transitioning
it's definitely
now
not
into
from
the
riding your
reserves. You're in the
bicycle.
reserves. You're
No,
trying to
it
get
isn't.
into.
I'm trying to.
Seriously,
I'm in the Guard
look at this
now.
old man.
Okay.
He's
So once
jacked.
I get my degree, I'll try to commission back active duty.
Such an
Okay.
asshole.
He's
How do you
totally
like
posturing.
the Irreverent Warriors? And is this your first hike?
So this is actually my 4th hike.
Okay, so you've been doing this a while.
Yeah, what is the second Wilmington hike?
Okay.
Much different than last year, but I love it. It's
Yeah.
a great group of people.
Good job.
A lot of
Okay.
camaraderie.
Yeah, I just had some active. Actually, I think I've only had active duty folks on. But one of the big things that we talk about, obviously, is mental health. How to improve mental health. What are they doing in the? I guess we'll say the Air Guard. Now, were you Air Force then transitioned to the Air Guard? Okay,
Yeah.
so I've been out for 13, 14 years. Mental health
man.
back then was drink and try not to hurt yourself. What are they doing now for active duty folks? Are they taking the stigma away? Are they making getting help any easier?
I would say they're definitely pushing more towards getting that help, but there's still always that stigma that, if I go get help,
Yeah, you
it
could
could
lose your
lead
job.
to you getting pushed out or getting
Yeah.
medically retired, things like that.
I wonder if
know
that
they're
ever
doing
happens.
More, like, briefs with it.
Okay.
They're doing
Right?
more like down days.
That's why I
with
don't
units.
fly
That's what we
airplanes.
used to do. We
All
used
right,
to
you
go
can
with,
pull
like,
that down. But that's what we're going to be doing. I think I'd like to try to do that more often, and I'd like to get out to like Colorado or Texas, Las Vegas.
Oh, that'd be a good time.
Yeah, Yano. I don't know if he's running that one. I know he's been dealing with some stuff, but hopefully he's running that one this year. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Really had a lot of fun with that. That video is still up on 21 Guns page, Irreverent Warriors page. Just head over to 21gun.net and you'll see that. Our 100th episode is rapidly approaching. This is crazy because this is we're on our third year, second year. It's a second. We've done 2 years. Okay, so I used to do one show every 2 weeks. But now we went to a weekly show. So it's like it just jumped on us. So we're going to do something really cool. Irreverent Warriors, check this out. Mike Stojic and Malia Christie have a bar here in Clayton, North Carolina called Revival 1869. I interviewed him a few weeks ago. He's a former Marine engineer type officer, actually.
To be pilot.
And yeah, that's right. He's going to be pilot. What we're going to do is try to, they had a rough year, obviously, with COVID and all that, and they're doing great now. I mean, they're just packed. But I think it would be great to have some veterans show up and toss some money their way, have some wonderful spirits and drinks, and we're going to do a live show from the back balcony, patio, whatever that's called, the back patio. Yeah. Awesome. So we're going to do a live show there. I hope we can get a big contingent of people. And what I'm going to try to do is get guests that have been on the show. Like we'll try to bring Donnie on. We'll try to bring... I can't think of any other guest. Dan Mallard. He was my first guest on the show ever. But yeah, we're going to bring some guests on and it'll be a good time. So that's August 19th. So write that down and show up.
That's right before the Raleigh.
That's right before the Raleigh Hike. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It's right before it.
Ours is the 28th. Yep.
Awesome. We'll also be down in Fayetteville on maybe July 31st. We're trying to figure this out. And we're going to do it again. I like this live thing. I think it's kind of cool. We're going to broadcast live from the Rock Gun Shop, I guess it's called, the Rock Gun Store down in Fayetteville. We've been working on some stuff with them. They have like weekend events. They bring out veterans. It's a gun store. I mean, it's like, hey, do you want to come broadcast at the gun? All I have to say is gun, and I'm like, yes!
Guns.
I almost bought a gun today. I can't help it. I don't understand it. It's like a...
No, I think you understand it.
Well, yeah,
it's just...
Here's the thing.
I don't see the problem.
I'm like, I don't need any more guns. I don't need any more guns. And then I'm like, let's just check out what's on this gun store. And then I see one and I'm like, oh my gosh, check that out. Ported slide, Gucci Glock. Red Dot.
Everyone needs more guns.
Yeah, I saw one, the Sig Sauer P365 with an EOS, or it's what the heck's it called? Something zero. It's got a red dot built into it. It's pretty sweet. And it's 12+1, whereas the one I carry now is 6+1. Speaking of hikes, head over to reverentwarriors.com. Check out in the events section all the different hikes that are coming up. June 27th, we have Puerto Rico. That's in 10 days. And that's it. That's all we have left in June. If it's only June 17th, and we only have one hike left this whole month. But then we have July 3rd, Lincoln, Nebraska. We're going to have someone on here in a minute to talk about that. And then we have Hopedale, Illinois. So that'll be fun. Then let's go into further on in July. We have July 10th, Seattle, Washington, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. I got to make it to Tennessee. It looks like a beautiful place. It's just so damn expensive. What's going on? It's like a big snobby place where you got to spend $1,000 on a hotel. Stop being snobs, Chattanooga.
I don't ask questions.
They should have went to Gatlinburg. It would have been a little bit cheaper.
A little bit cheaper. Well, I was looking at Nashville, and obviously that's where all the Chicago, Illinois.
Good luck with that one.
Is the S? I know we bring this up every week, but I always forget.
We have discussed it.
Do you say the S?
Illinois. If you say Illinois, then that's Illinoising.
Well, there's an S. So don't take the freaking S out if you're going to be annoying about it.
Okay, well, why is it Arkansas, not Arkansas?
That's a good
Arkansas.
point. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. July 17th, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Another interesting one. July 20. Now, here's one I'm not sure about. July 21st, Guam. There's nothing to click on when you go to Eventbrite. I was looking at that today. So are they doing it? Is Guam a thing, or is it going to be?
I haven't heard anything about it.
I need more info. So
I'm unsure, but I'm sure we can find out.
I will find out more info, and I will get back to you, the Irreverent Warriors.
Wow, was that a dramatic pause?
Yeah.
No, I wanted.
He was smoldering.
I wanted everyone to think that their thing froze. Okay, let's bring up Jacob Fry. Let's see. There he is. Jacob, come on, man. We've had you on before, right?
Yeah, last year before the hike, we had our hike. Because
have we been doing this live thing that long?
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
Because last year I had my overalls on with the cutoff, and got them all down the Daisy Dukes.
I forgot. Well, now they're getting all sexy. Now I remember.
Well, yeah, Nick Pedersen hooked it up this year with the actual the button-up cornstalk t-shirt now, so gonna rock this one the whole hike.
Nice. If
not, or just in spite of North Carolina Warriors, wear my Nebraska Warriors jersey just to, really turn it in.
I didn't realize that show Frank's jersey there. I did. So this is a national thing, the Warriors hockey.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we have it's a national program. Nebraska actually has their tournament coming up here in September that IW we're going to help out with and do a tailgate out there because it's a Husker football game as well, same day. So we're going to have all that put together. And last year, that's actually where we ate lunch. The Nebraska Warriors put on a hockey scrimmage at Breslow Ice Hockey Arena, and I got out there in my silkies and jersey and skated sort of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That would sting. That would sting. Growing up in the North, ice on your ass cheeks. Not that it's ever happened. Once. It stings.
Painful.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's very painful.
It hurts. Plus you stick to it and then we don't want to talk
Don't
about
go
that.
anywhere. Yep.
You have other parts that can stick to it too. So let's pretend that we didn't have you on last year.
Okay.
So tell us about your service, Jacob, Mr. Jacob, who I've never met before.
All right. Well, here we go. Pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for having
Absolutely.
us on.
Yes.
So I served in the Marine Corps for 5 years, active duty, from 08 to 13. I was with 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines. I did Sangin 1, Sangin 2 for Afghanistan, and then decided to get out. Came back here to Nebraska, and then went to school, and then I got involved with IW actually there that first year in 2015 with Rob and Alex. We put that hike together around Holmes Lake, and then after that, we've been doing them ever since between Lincoln and Omaha.
Awesome. So let's talk about that. That's an interesting thing I haven't thought about. Think back to 2015, your first hike, and then think about the hikes that you go on today. What's the biggest difference that you see?
Well, our first hike was essentially a forced death march. Rob, who is MARSOC, decided that this hike was going to be where we actually do the 22 kilometers with the 22 pounds. And so it was just circles around the lake. And let's just say I had been out at that point for 2 years, so I wasn't exactly in the best of shape. So it was a lot of, luckily, I had my my buddy that was going to vet school that hooked us up with some IVs at the end of that one. I definitely needed it.
That's something we bring up a lot. So people, and I think it's a barrier. I really do. If people don't understand it, I don't think it's on the site anymore, but they say, hey, here you guys do 22 kilometers, 22 kilograms, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Vietnam guy. And it's like, no, we're not doing, you can do that. I mean, if you want to do that, freaking great. I've seen some dudes rucking like 100 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to be a motivator? Miserable. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, exactly. But what did I wear? I honestly, this last hike I had, because I'm a PA, I always have to have my med kit with me, and I think that was it. I had to change of socks, so 4 pounds.
I had water, so as I was rucking, I got lighter and lighter and lighter.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You know what? You got to pee in order to get lighter, right?
Whatever.
Like if you drink,
because you're still, God, Frank.
Math and Marines, bro. Marines.
He's like, dude, I got 30 pounds of water. Let me chug it real quick.
Yeah.
I'm good. We're good. Let's move.
Psychosomatically, it felt good to me. Don't judge me right now. Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
So tell us. Actually, do you know what? I want to show you something here. Okay, hold on. Remember, I'm the boomer of the crew. So I'm gonna do a share screen. Hopefully, there's no. We're reeling it in. So I was gonna say a joke there that I'm not gonna even say. I'm gonna let you, the listeners at home, think of an absurd joke that someone could say about pulling up their screen and showing you what their tabs have on. But see, I'm not going to do that because I'm better than that, Jeremy. I'm better than that. Okay, check this out.
We're not bringing my screen up.
So, can you see this? Can you see my screen, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay. Jacob, do you recognize? You probably don't recognize where that is. Do you recognize this thing that I'm on, though?
Are you right?
Yeah, because the city of Lincoln wasted $25,000 one year putting those metal bikes everywhere, and then they decided to take them down afterwards because they didn't want to upkeep them.
Oh, really? So as you can tell, as you might be able to tell, without the facial hair and the cargo shorts, that this was somewhere way back in 1967. But are you ready for it?
Oh, no.
This is when I bicycled through Nebraska.
Damn.
This is when I bicycled. Here, let me show another one.
Hold on, but if you go back to that, it showed AARP at the back, so that's when he was starting to get there in the old age.
See my awesome cargo shorts? Now check this out. Hold on. How do I scroll up?
It looked like Google threw up on that first bike.
Look at, I had this. This was supposed to be. Look at, this is supposed to be my good luck thing.
Good luck duck.
Click and drag. There we go. So that was my good luck duck. I crashed about 5 hours after this and went to the hospital. But yeah, this
was not
bike,
the Aflac
this
duck.
is kind of interesting
Not
too.
the Aflac duck.
This is kind of interesting too. See this bike right here? While I was training on Fort Bragg. Yes, I am wearing Shimano open-toed shoes that actually click in here.
He's a pro vet.
A special forces guy. Shout out to Irish Bicycles. So this dude built these bicycles himself.
And then you crashed.
Had a racing team. Yeah. And he donated it to me. He's like, here, you guys still have this bike. It's out in the ground. I don't ride it anymore because it's freaking deadly. And then the last picture will be nothing even interesting at all. Are you familiar with this area?
Oh yeah,
Jacob?
that's our start point down there in the revamped rail yard. So we'll be down there in the Haymarket. It's an amazing area. Obviously, historically wise, they even opened a couple of the old speakeasies down there that they found.
Cool.
We have the hidden bar where you have to come up and knock on what looks like a wall, and it has a yellow light or a red light. If it's a red light, it's full. If it's yellow, then you can come up and do the knock, and the whole wall turns, and you walk into this
really
hidden
awesome.
bar. Oh yeah, there's amazing stuff down here in Lincoln that we're gonna check a lot of it out. Obviously, one of the big deals is last year we were unable to get into Memorial Stadium, the Huskers stadium, where they usually let us come in. We do our own tunnel walk and then 22 push-ups on the 22-yard line. But this year, since COVID has now finally left us, and our state's open all the way now, where they're going to let us back into the stadium. So we'll step off from the rail yard there about 09 and then head straight over to Memorial Stadium and actually do our own tunnel walk, just
awesome.
like the Huskers.
A lot of fun. I mean, and this is 5, 6, 7, your 6th year doing a hike in Lincoln?
Yeah, I was counting on my fingers the other day. I'm like, okay, math for Marines. Here we go.
He's like, what do I do when I hit 5? I don't have my fingers over here.
Wait, do I go to my toes right away, or do I go to the other hand?
That's what the battle buddies for. He's got a hand.
Kind of.
Let's get the next guy next to you.
Do you know what I was just about to do? I was going to say a stripper joke, but I won't.
God.
Because we are the tamest show on the internet.
For the kids.
Do you know what I'll do? I'll just give a little hint. I was going to say, or you could count the teeth on your stripper girlfriend and add a couple more too, but I won't do that.
On how many she has.
I won't do
Yeah,
that.
we're in Nebraska. Our strippers have teeth. That's Iowa where they get into the meth. Okay, yeah. Come on.
It's only when you're in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Stop messing with us. Did
Juan Baret just jump ship? He's like, I'm out now.
No, he's still here.
No, this is a tame show. This is a tame show. Watch last week's show. With the broken jar head.
Oh,
yikes!
The funny part is when you said you crashed your bike. If you ever want to watch some funny bike videos, look up Rob Jones. He's my buddy. He was my engineer on my first deployment, double leg amputee. He actually rode his bicycle all the way from East Coast all the way to the West Coast for a fundraiser deal. But he had like his whole training session where he's like putting videos up on YouTube. Am I going to fall this time or am I not?
Yeah,
he does like a circle in front of his house and he just right into the bush, and he's trying to unhook his legs from the bicycle.
So he was on a regular upright bike, because we had back when I rode my bike from San Francisco to Virginia Beach back in 2010, 63 days, 4,000 miles, 120,000 feet of climbing.
Aggravating Jeremy every second of the way.
I'm just kidding. But our amputee guys, our double amputee guys were on hand cycles. What did he say? I missed it.
It's like, can you say that a little bit? You say it again, but faster. See how fast you get there.
Well, it's a running joke here that every person. See, way back in 2010. No, I'm not even going to get into it.
Oh my God, he was about to make me quit again.
But it's funny because everyone that comes on, I've ridden in so many states that there's somewhere that I've been, and Jeremy gets annoyed. But
Jeremy quits at least twice a show.
Are you just going to turn on the Johnny Cash song, I've Been Everywhere, like to start playing that every time he does it?
Do you want my kids? I knew. So there's certain what we call red letter dates in your life, right? Things that you look back on and you say, I've succeeded. I did what I was supposed to do. And I was driving with my son the other day, and he's like, can we hear that that Johnny Cash song? And I'm like, stop right there. My son is asking for Johnny Cash at 8 years old. I'm like, yes, I've done. Do you know what? I can die now.
What would you have done if he would have said, "Hey,
I get the
Dad,
podcast.
can you turn on that Kesha?"
First, I would say, God bless you. What? What did you say?
Can you turn on that Cardi B?
I love my son, and he can listen to whatever he wants. But the fact that he wanted to hear Johnny Cash. And then I hear him. I have a moped. Have I ever showed you my moped? It's like a Vespa.
Yes. So yeah,
I have?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Of course you have a. Why wouldn't you have a?
It's a Honda.
Wouldn't you have a-
It's a Honda.
So how do you think he earned his flight jacket?
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, so it was on it's a Honda. It's not a real Vespa. Come on, I'm not a doctor. We're riding around on that, and he's singing "Sad But True." He's going. I'm like, are you singing "Sad But True"? He's like, yeah, that song rocks. I'm like, oh god, I am. I've done it. I'm getting emotional. This is an incredible day for me.
Just celebratory you're accomplishing life.
We went into the weeds there a little bit. Okay, where's your meet and greet?
Meet and greet is going to be at Capitol Cigar Lounge, just there off of 14th and Old Cheney. The event is up, and I've posted it on the hike information. We're going to be over there right now working on getting some catering brought in from HF Crave. So you'll get a meal there, and then we'll step off that next morning. Being down there in the rail yard roughly between 7:30 and 8 for registration and check-in, get the merchandise passed out. And yeah, Tony but with the meet and greet, Tony at Capital City Cigars, he's also a former Marine, opened that here about 4 years ago. Amazing spot. They have amazing drinks and cigars there. So we'll all be able to hang out, meet everybody, and just spend some time with each other before the hike the next day.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a good time. I'm telling you, I'm not going anywhere. I will make it to a Nebraska hike because I enjoyed Nebraska so much. Good place.
You better get down here. I mean, come on. That's the reason at the beginning you're like, oh, we need to go do another live show. I'm like, well, July 3rd, bro. Come on in.
That we don't even, dude, we don't even charge much to fly us out. It's like, I mean, first class, yes, but I mean, what are you going to fly in coach with the chattel? No, come on.
Business class is a stretch.
Yeah, maybe.
We might get a vet discount.
Maybe.
Well, at least business still gives you free drinks.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yes, it
Yes,
sure does.
Yes, it does.
Ask me how I know.
I always.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well, and that's the other deal. If you are flying,
and then I flew out.
Go ahead. What's that?
If you are flying in for the hike, just contact us. Usually Omaha, it's cheaper to fly in. And thanks to the Marine Corps League here in Lincoln, the Cornhusker Detachment, they have the rental van all day Friday, all the way through Sunday. So we are offering a shuttle service to pick up at airports and bring you here in the town, get you dropped off at your hotel. And then we'll get you back to the airport Sunday. And then if you need a ride Monday still, I'm available to do that.
Awesome. That's one of the best things I've heard. I think that's great because, a lot of people fly in and they need that shuttle service. So is it a van? Because we only ride in a limousine.
Or a Vespa.
Or a
I mean,
Tesla.
I can bring for you guys. I can bring one of the tractors, and we can just actually put you in there and just like.
You sexy.
Do you know what's great? I can't. It would take me too long to find it. But when I was in Nebraska, we actually witnessed a tractor parade.
Oh,
It was a tractor parade. Yeah, there was like 30 tractors, and it wasn't special for us. It was just like, this is Wednesday.
It had to be the slowest parade.
Right? Yeah, it was pretty slow.
Well, some of those, they'll do the tractor pull contest, and some of those tractors are just beefed out. Like they can go, they're insane, and they look like antique tractors, but can go like 60 miles per hour down the highway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, Jacob Fry. We'll have you on again, I don't know, in the next Nebraska hike for your first time again.
First time. We'll just redo it every time. Yeah.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Futurama status. We just keep bringing Fry on and we don't remember him. It's all right. We got it.
That's right. And you know what's funny? Last name Fry and you have red hair.
I lost the bet to Chuck. He lost his leg on the second deployment. We bet who was going to get hit first, and he lost. So if I ever have a male son that's a redhead, it's supposed to be Philip J. Fry.
Yes.
So
You have to do it.
Sorry, babe, I was supposed to tell you that sooner.
And we were joking about the stripper. She had all her teeth. Don't worry about it. All right, don't worry, Jacob. My son, my firstborn's got red hair too. So
I know. I saw that. I was like, don't worry. You get used to the soulless thing. It just kind of wears on you. But yeah.
I should have named him Sue. A little Johnny Cash reference there to go back. That's called full circle. That's how we do that on this.
Yeah, but
awesome.
Your last chance to get Eventbrite merchandise is coming up this Saturday, so make sure you get signed up on there. And even if you don't want merchandise, please register ahead of time. We are working because we are going to be able to afford to pay for everybody's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we just need to get the most accurate head count we possibly can. And yeah, even if you guys can't make it out here for a hike, every year we're going to be doing our Silky's annual sand volleyball fundraiser. We had it again this year and had a great turnout. So that's the reason we're able to push all these funds out and get more involved with our veterans here in the local community.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. You guys have your act together. I'm going to move to Nebraska. We're looking for a freedom place to move to, either Texas or South Dakota. Now Nebraska's on the list.
Too many people from California already invaded Texas, as we've seen the power grid situation. So, yeah, Nebraska, we got ethanol, corn, #1 beef state. I mean, come on, we got it down at this point.
Is the ethanol for cars? I don't understand. You guys burn stuff in your car?
Drive the Tesla.
Kevin Chad Sullivan. Anyways, Jacob Fry from the Nebraska hike, Lincoln, Nebraska. If you want to sign up, head over to Head over to irreverentwarriors.com, click on events, and see the Nebraska thing come up there, and sign up. Make sure you register, because if you're like me and you register the day before, then they don't have a good head count. You know the way it is. So thank you, Mr. Fry. We will have you on again, like I said.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. What an asshole. God, it's like, man, can this guy stop talking?
You keep asking him questions. That's your fault.
I'm joking. The guy was obviously a really cool dude.
We're going to end this stream, and he's going to be like, man, remember that Jacob guy? Never again.
Dear Cindy, the podcast called me an asshole. It's obviously, if I go like this, wow, what a really fascinating, nice man. That's when you know you've just totally screwed up.
Right. Yeah, we got to.
All right. There was one thing. I wrote some notes, and I wanted to bring it up because it's, we're 8:33, whatever. We always talk at the end of the show. We always say, call, write, whatever. The other day, I went over to my neighbor. My neighbor's 75 years old. He's a Vietnam veteran, and his wife died last year. I'm telling you, as a medical provider, the #1 suicide rate is elderly men. Elderly men. What is this? I don't understand. You're tickling my coochie? Oh, I'm tickling my own.
No.
What? I'm missing the joke.
You're tickling the old man's ball? You all right? You okay? You want to be friends?
No, what I was going to say is I went over to his house, and I was like, he's always looking at my Tesla, and I'm like, hey, do you want to take a ride? Do I ever want to take a ride? Let's go. So we went out, and we're just cruising freaking as fast as we can go. I mean, come on. If I get pulled over, I'm going to be like, dude, I'm taking a Vietnam vet out for a ride.
He bromance hard.
I have to go fast. But it made his day. And now every day I see him now, he's like, want to come in and see, I shit you not, want to come in and see my hearing aids? I'm like, yes, I do. Want to come in and see your
collection of
hearing aids. But yeah, so it's things like that. You know, we always say call, text, and all that stuff. But when you're at, like, let's say you're at Walmart and you're buying some antifreeze. I don't know why I just thought of that, but you're buying some antifreeze and you see a guy next to you with, what's that?
We lost Justin.
Justin who?
The coordinator, but we just lost him backstage.
Oh.
Whoops.
Wait, yeah, but we already talked to him, didn't we?
No, we just talked to Jacob Fry. Justin was on.
I thought they were coming on together. I had no idea. I had no idea. Sorry, Justin. Anyways, he had a good time. Reach out. Go find someone. Talk to old people, especially if they had that Vietnam veteran hat. Any veteran hat. Reach out, because that's how you find out. Yeah, what happened, Justin, if you're watching, I saw that you were both going to be on, and for some reason I thought you were both going to be on at the same time. They're both Nebraska hike coordinators, and apparently they were in different locations. So I just assumed he wasn't here.
I misread that, so that's probably my fault. I'll probably take that blame.
Damn right you will.
Well, I'm not gonna take it. What are you gonna do?
I'm the guy. I'm the face of this. It's your fucking fault, producer.
In this political climate, you will not blame the black man for that.
Oh, it was totally your fault.
Yeah, we sure fucking can. You're the one on the casting guest
National
couch.
Defense Service ribbon couch. Let's bring on Juan. I see him smiling. He's sweating. He's like, oh god, the Smithsonian. Dear Mr. Baret,
like,
we saw you on the Irreverent Warriors podcast, and we would like to withhold all. Welcome to the show, Juan.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No worries. Hey, listen, I enjoy having Air Force people on. The last Air Force guy we had on was Banff. Bad. I always want to say Banff.
B-Fam. Brother from another mother.
Man, we got to get him back on.
Yep.
Cooking guy. But here's the thing about B-Fam. Is it looks so much like Banff. You got to know that.
Because it's like it's almost backwards. It's almost like you went to say Banff, but then you're dyslexic and you're like, oh, I missed it. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I was talking like that the whole time. Anyways, So let's start from the beginning, Juan. Air Force veteran, but let's find out. I like to hear your path to entering the Air Force, right? See, most of the time you listen to podcasts, but you got to see the way you use your hands as
How
well.
did you enter?
Enter the Air Force. When did you start? When did that journey start?
Well, the Air Force. I started in high school, really, in the Bronx. I was in a junior ROTC cadet in DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx, and that's really how I got brainwashed a little bit. But in a good way.
It appears to me that the JROTC tends to only be Air Force. Every time I see them, they do have the Junior Marines.
Yeah, they have. So ROTC is.
I was in JRTC in high school for the Army.
Yeah, my brother had JRTC for Marines and Army as well.
Well,
they were both
I stand corrected. So. I should just shut up and let Juan talk.
It's almost like enlisted or right.
Yeah, they got all kinds of. They got Navy, Army. I don't know about Marines.
Okay.
They don't want to. Let's see. So I started there. So my life was pretty much I pretty much went to school and just did that, and then all the other classes I just kind of breezed by. And it was come home and then go watch baseball in the Yankee Stadium, or go to the ballpark. And there was a lot of the South Bronx, so there was a lot of negativity stuff around. So I just try to stay out of trouble as best I could. And I wanted to serve, and the Air Force gave me an opportunity to go to engineering, do construction management, do surveying, and I love it because it plays with what I do and what I love to do.
Awesome. When you say engineering, is it like Red Horse type of things, or like what type of engineering?
Yeah. So Red Horse. Yeah. So I did Prime Beef, which is like civil engineering squadron. So we pretty much either build stuff, maintain, or take care of facilities for the Air Force or anywhere. Like, so my job it was I would do engineering design. So I would go out, do surveying, like do the plotting. Like before the construction starts, we gotta like do a map of the area, draw it out, and work with engineers to design how stuff is supposed to look like. Okay. And when the construction starts, we will do the construction inspection, make sure the contractors are doing the job correctly. Or if you're Red Horse, us, like the military, will build this stuff.
Okay.
And then in deployment environment, we would just show up anywhere in the middle of the desert, and we just build a base from scratch.
Awesome.
And then my role was to do the design, and actually do the design, and then go out there and mark where everything was going to be, like where all the tents and all the latrines and all the shit, the shedders were.
Yeah. Here's something that's interesting about your story, right? People go in, and obviously you took a job that translates extremely well, it sounds like, into you can be a machine gunner in the Marine Corps for, how long do you stay a machine gunner? Can you do that your whole career?
You could. You
really?
could.
Okay.
There's no point to it, but yeah, you could.
And then you get out and you're like, I can shoot a machine gun.
That's when you're like Securitas, mall security guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or contracting, which I guess pays well. But so was that part of your plan? Did you say, hey, this is something that I could do down the road?
Well, yeah. When I was a kid, I'm from the Dominican Republic, and I grew up. I grew up where I didn't have I didn't have a toilet in my house. I had to go do it in the outhouse. I would walk barefoot. I didn't have water. So, and I didn't even have streets. But throughout, when I was a little kid, I would see all these engineers come through and actually put in utilities, put in water. So I grew up around construction in a good way, because every time they turned on the water, it was a blessing. And also I saw a lot of soldiers too, because there was a lot of maltreatment of people. Even though we were poor, the government wasn't very kind to the poor people. And I would see a lot of soldiers doing a lot of abuse. But I didn't, they said, well, if I do become a soldier, I'm going to do better than these guys,
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so that was kind of ingrained in my mind when I came to the United States as an immigrant. Like, I saw an opportunity. Like, I wasn't going to waste this opportunity, be in this country and just not do nothing. And I'll say, hey, I actually wanted to be a ranger.
Oh, nice. That's such a rare such a rare perspective on the earth. I just posted the other day on Facebook. It was from Thomas Jefferson, and it was basically, I don't remember it verbatim, but it was like, most of my countrymen don't understand how good they have it.
That's how they see it from somebody else's eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And I always tell my kids, right? My kids might be upset that they can't. Oh, I'm like, no iPads. And they're like, oh, no iPads. I'm like, hey, this is called let's look at our refrigerator and appreciate the fact that we have cold water, fresh cold water coming to our. I mean, that everyone should wake up in the morning and be like, I am living better than 99% anyone in America who has, if you have a roof over your head, running water, electricity, and food security, you're living better than 99% of the people that have ever existed on the earth. And if you keep that in mind, you know, what are you striving for? I guess you can strive for more and more and more, but there's no reason for it.
It's first world problems. I know.
First world problems. Yeah, that's one of the best memes.
When I first went to Iraq and then Afghanistan, I was literally around people that didn't know what electricity was. They didn't have indoor plumbing. They didn't know what electricity was. I pulled up my Zippo to smoke a cigarette, and they thought it was freaking magic.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, and then you come home and like, what, you're mad because traffic made you wait for 2 minutes?
Oh, my internet's down for an hour. Oh, really? That sucks. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a fantastic. And do you have children?
Yeah, I got 4.
Holy.
They're all, 10, 9, 8, and year and a half.
Okay.
So I'm busy.
Nice.
Catholica, as we say, I would assume. But
I'm Catholic. Yeah, you got it.
Irish Catholic. But I started late, so I would have 30 kids in this house if I could. Fill in the. No, I just realized how that could be taken. Anyways, now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, and then I was going to ask this question: what's with? And I'm asking this kind of knowing the answer because I've heard a lot of Dominican people tell me about it. But what is with the Dominican Republic and you guys churning out talented baseball players?
Well,
small country, tons of talent.
It's all about desire, man. It's a way. Honestly, like they're hungry, man. There's not that many opportunity in the Dominican, like education. And like here in the United States, you have the American dream, right? If you work hard, you do what's right, you're gonna have opportunities, right? Over there, even if you work hard, the opportunities may not be there, either through corruption or just the economies are there. So baseball players, they're looking for an opportunity to make it big. So they figure, you know what? Even if I study, what's the point? But if I play baseball, I may have a good opportunity in me if I play good. And it only requires physical abilities, really, mostly, and discipline. And also, there's a lot of concentration. So that could happen here too, if you focus, on playing baseball. So, that's part of the reason why. And most importantly, we love the game. We love baseball. We're passionate. Like I don't play anymore, but I'm pretty crazy about it. That's why, if I couldn't play anymore, I started making bats. I can't have enough of it, and that's pretty much Dominicans. Like, even if they talk about any type of baseball, it doesn't matter. Like, if it's China or Japan, they'll talk about Japanese baseball,
Yeah. My buddy said that he would see kids, and he was probably one of them, that they had nothing, no shoes or anything. So they would make baseball gloves out of like cereal boxes and use sticks for baseball bats. And I'm like, man, that's why, because it's such a it's why the Brazilians are so good at jiu-jitsu, because it's like, oh, age 3, here's your first gi, and now for the rest of your life you're going to be choking people out. Down there it's like, let's just make our, because it's not a lot. I mean, you need a baseball, and apparently beyond that you can just make whatever you want. Big Papi, is he as famous down there as he is in Boston?
Oh yeah. He's an idol over there. Any baseball player that makes it here is a very popular player. Not only because of his famous status, but he's a humble guy. He always stays around the neighborhood, his old friends.
Until someone shot him.
Unfortunately, he got shot because he felt so comfortable, in his own country. But unfortunately, that kind of like backfired, and I'm glad that he's still around though, because he's a great guy. Even though I'm a Yankee fan, I hate him for getting all those hits. I still love him for being Dominican and being a great guy,
Yeah. Rafael Devers, I believe he's from the Dominican Republic. He's great. He was like just this little chubby guy that maybe could play the hot corner every now and then suddenly he's like, you know what? I'm just going to get jacked and start hitting homers. And then this is 3 years ago. I'm going to bring up something for you, and I don't know if I should, but let me try. So baseball is something that we can all get together, conservatives, liberals, whoever you are. I don't care. And just, you know what, forget about the world and let's just watch some baseball, because it's such a pure sport. It's such a fair sport. It's such a pure talent sort of thing. When you see someone with a beautiful swing, whether it's Mickey Mantle or Joe DiMaggio or Ted Williams, it's just something to admire. And then 2 or 3 years ago, so my son was a big fan of, we watched the whole Red Sox win to 118 games when they won the World Series. He was 5 years old, 5 or 6. And it was like, this is the perfect time to bring a child into baseball, right? He got to know all the players. He got to know and we got the baseball bat. I was showing Frank, I have the 108 game baseball bat. It was like, it was such a family thing. And then the next year we're like, okay, I think that following year it was COVID, or might have been the year before that. Let's start with the game. Oh, Mookie Betts got traded. Let's watch Mookie Betts' first game. Dad, why is Mookie kneeling? And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, how am I supposed to talk about this with a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old when it's supposed to be? So I guess my question is, and we don't have to get into that whole stuff because I don't care how people feel about that. I guess the question is, do you feel that baseball has overstepped its boundaries and kind of pulled people away from it because they're trying to make a political statement rather than a family statement?
As far as like the kneeling and stuff?
Yeah, I think just bringing politics into a game that used to bring people together, all it's going to do is drive people apart.
I mean, I don't know. Well, let's just think about baseball. It's a representation of the whole entire population as a whole. Right. It just so happened that they're famous, you know? So whatever is going to happen in the population is going to be reflected in baseball. So, you know, at the end of the day, the baseball players are just normal people. And I dealt with a lot of them, the professionals, and, you know, and a lot of them are just very humble, and they hurt just as we hurt, and they have emotions just like we do, just like anybody. So it's just a reflection of what's going on. If, you know, if Mookie Betts or whoever felt that was right at the moment, then, that's what they did. Yeah. And, and if they do it, then, they have the right to do it. And that's why, as veterans, that's why we do it. We fought, and if your child sees it, hey, you know what? You got to have the conversation. Why is he doing that? Because maybe something bad's going on. So, I guess I get what you're saying. They're people just like us, and they have their feelings and all that stuff, and they want to express them. And I did notice that. I noticed that about the veteran population. Because people are talking about Kaepernick and all these people. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? And it was like, because they have the right to, right? We fought for that, whether you agree with it or not. And I guess I understand there's an argument to be made for that, but yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up. Let's move on to more fun stuff. So you get out of the Air Force. Do you go into the minors at this point, or tell us how that whole, I don't want to say debacle. I say debacle because I know you got hurt. That whole situation played out. About what? I'm sorry. What was that again?
So you got out of the Air Force. Did you then go into the minor leagues, or how did that whole situation work out?
Oh, no, I never played professionally. I play baseball. I play in the Air Force team in Hawaii, and I play mostly amateur. I'm just a baseball fanatic. I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, I would have loved to play professionally. If I did, I wouldn't have to come to the Air Force, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I mean, making millions, or go getting shot at somewhere, like No, I play baseball. I've always been a fanatic. Like, growing up, my dad always fixed bats or fixed gloves. So I was always good with my hands, kind of. So when I got out of the Air Force, I actually wanted to continue my military career. I wanted to finish school and wanted to go into the Army to be a pilot, because I just had it in my mind that I wanted to be a pilot. And I said, why not? Like, if I want to continue my military career, I might as well just get promoted and be a pilot, because I just thought it was going to be fun. But unfortunately, I had some hip issues and back issues that I'm still dealing with, and I still have some military in me, and I work with the Army Corps of Engineers now, and I deployed as a civilian. And then when I came back, I thought I could play, and unfortunately, my back was just killing me. But I still had this energy, and I started making bats by hand without knowing anything.
So you just figured it out as you went. You just like, I'm going to make a bat.
Yeah.
How do you? Okay. Wow. Tell us about
that. Well, honestly, I was depressed. Because I was in pain. I just really I just recently had little kids, got married, had a new job. And I felt like my dream was taken away from me. Like I wanted to fly and be in the military. And I felt like my career was cut short. And I was depressed. But I was like, my mom always told me like, well, one thing that is like, I grew up with a lot of adversity. And my mom, I never knew when my next meal would come. But my mom always figured out. She was like a young entrepreneur. She always figured out. So I was like, hey, maybe this pain is something good out of it. And that's why I decided to, I always wanted to do woodworking. I don't know how to do it, and I just got to figure it out, and I did. And I'm still trying to figure out entrepreneurship. So it's day by day. And any veteran that's out there that think that they have a lot of gifts inside of them. You may not know what it is. You just got to take a chance of whatever it is, even if it's just fly fishing or whatever, hiking like you guys, or making art or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's an important thing. I mean, you bring up there is the people can get stuck, I guess, in a rut, wondering, oh, I got out. This is who I used to be, and that's fine. It's fine to have been somebody. Now plan out who you're going to be next, and we're risk takers. People in the military are risk takers, right? Whether you're jumping out of airplanes, driving tanks, or charging a house in Fallujah, finding bombs. Yeah, it's part of the thing. So when you get out, okay, you're not wearing Kevlar anymore. You're not carrying a weapon anymore. Well, most of the time. Whoa, I inhaled my spit there. But you still are the warrior down inside and deep inside, and go ahead, take a risk, right? I always wanted to do this, but it might cost me, and I might do this and I might fail. Yeah, you might. But if you don't do it, what's that saying? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Correct. Right?
Yeah.
And that's it. And I assume it sounds like that's the attitude that you took going into this venture.
Yeah, and it wasn't like one moment, I did, I'm human, so I was emotional. But it just little by little, taking step by step. And it's hard, man. It's hard to try to do something new. I still struggle with it to this day, like where it's hard being an entrepreneur. It's hard to fight that resistance to do something. Like, honestly, it's hard for me to be in this podcast right now live because I'm naturally an introvert. But I was like, I'm just going to show up, whatever, whatever it is, and you just got to take that step one at a time, because resistance is going to get you. No matter what, the time's going to pass anyway. You're going to die one day. But you have a dream inside of you that if you don't do it, like you guys doing this podcast is important. Like you guys have to start, and continue. So, all that I think veterans are the most talented people I know. Obviously I'm biased because I'm a veteran, but the military trains us so much, to do anything, to adapt to any situation, that we're a gift to this society. We're a gift to the, and we always want to show up and do more than what we pray for or whatever, and I think it's important for society to have us and have us well and have us alive, to be honest, we're a great gift to the world.
I agree. And what I was going to say was the piggyback off what you started to say was the first step, especially about being an introvert and getting a part of this is showing up, and being a part of something that not only it's not just about yourself, but it's about the greater mission behind it, and that's part of what you do. And part of what you do, I actually have a question from Ben Rodriguez, even though he has not allowed Facebook or StreamYard to access his Facebook comments. How dare you, Ben?
How'd you know it was him?
Because I went to the Irreverent Warriors Facebook page itself, because you're streaming through both of them. I go through their chat.
Oh, okay.
So I had to bring it back up.
All right, let's hear his question.
He says, what prevents a bat from splitting when it's hit by the ball? Quality wood, proper craftsmanship.
Perfect question, Ben Rodriguez. You should come.
Nothing prevents a bat from breaking. They're all going to break eventually. It's just if and when. But they are the number one factor that prolongs a bat from breaking is the quality of the wood, the straight and the grain. How the wood is, how it starts at when selecting the tree. How straight is the tree when you see it? When you cut it down, and then when you process the wood, how the straight grain. Either they use a process, either they use a saw to cut with the grain, or they split it. Splitting the wood is the same method they used back in the day when they did rocking chairs. When you split it, it splits with the grain. So that's the preferred method and how you dry it. So, and also the shape of the bat also plays a part, how long the bat breaks. If the bat is too heavy and loaded, all this weight is going to be at the bottom, and it's going to be thin here, and it's mostly going to break. So those bats are mostly for experts. If you want your bat to last longer, you want a balanced bat, Nice. But they're all eventually break because the pitcher's trying to get you out, so he's going to try to break it. So, and lastly, the user, like if the player, is not a good hitter, he's going to hit a bunch of balls right here. Their bats are going to break more often. So there's a lot of factors, and how you take care of it too. Like if you leave it outside in the rain, it contracts and it gets weak.
Gotcha. So you said for those of you swinging, don't suck at swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about people that use gloves, which is like the majority now when they swing at the bat? Every now and then you'll see the guy go out there barehanded, hands full of pine tar. God, I love that. I feel like there's just something cooler about swinging a bat at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball without a pair of gloves on.
Well, I'm sure they're used to it. Like, there's not that many. Using gloves, like, what you got to do what it feels comfortable for you. Like, I use batting gloves when hitting and tape because that's why I feel comfortable. Some guys feel comfortable not using batting gloves. So whatever you do in practice, that's what you want to do in the game because that's what you're used to. That's why I customize a bat to a player so that way they get used to it during practice. So that way when they're performing, they don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Do you do the axe handle, the Mookie Betts axe handle bats, the flat?
No, I don't do that one. That one has a patent on it, and these are special machinery to do that one. So I haven't done that one yet. I could probably do it, but it's not. There's plenty. I got plenty of players that use regular dogs, and actually I customize the dog to whatever player, whatever they want because it's all handmade. So I have the flexibility to do whatever I want because it's right there on the lake. I got players come to my shop and I make bats right on the spot.
Something happened to your audio. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Oh, we lost.
No.
I think he's just resetting it. Real quick.
He is. Okay.
Yeah, just give him a second. But yeah, I mean, like I was an avid baseball player. I played baseball for 8 years.
Oh, really?
And my mom would have us go to a specific person in California that would make bats.
Oh, cool.
And they would. Oh, he's back. They would make a bat that's designed for your weight, your height, so you can have a proper swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? I hear something crazy going on. Oh, whatever. We're
Here
almost done anyways. Okay. Couple more questions. So how did you break into your customer base are professionals, correct?
Well, it's mostly amateurs, but the professionals, I had a couple of professional players. Like I had Adrian Sanchez from the Nationals use my gloves in the professional game in the major leagues, actually. And I kind of the way I met him, he was in the minor leagues here in town in Prince William County, and he was in like Class A. And I just made friends with him when he was, in the low minor leagues. And he tried some of my bats when I first started. And I just kept in touch with him through social media. He's a really nice guy. And then one time he came to D.C. to do like a Christmas show with the Nationals. It was like December or something. And I just met up with him, and I went in the lobby for him. And then he came down. And I said, hey, now I got gloves. You mind trying this in spring training? And, he took it. And a couple other players looked at the gloves. And he took it. He tried it on. And he really loved it. And he used it in the major leagues and made that dream come true for me. So just kind of hustle. And then I got some other players that I sponsor in the minor leagues. Zach Benaro from the Brewers, right-handed pitcher. And in Charles, let me see, what's his name? Zach Benaro. From the Brewers, and he uses it exclusively.
Yeah. Well, that's great. What a lot.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but most of my customers are amateur players because I feel like that this customized service is not handed to the amateurs. The pros can get whatever they want. So I'm looking out for the little guy.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. What people don't realize is this conversation we're having right now, it just dawned on me. This is like 2 years in the making because I don't know how I met you actually. I think I gave you a call when we first started back in 2019 and I was like, hey, I'm just looking for guests. Do you hear like a weird feedback?
Yeah, it's like,
it's driving me crazy. Anyways.
Actually, no, I emailed you. I found the VA newsletter, sent out your podcast link.
Oh, cool. I didn't know.
And then I saw it, and then I sent you an email, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
But yeah, and then we've actually met. We met up at Burbiz not long ago. Well, maybe it was a long time ago, probably a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're our audio's doing all sorts of weird things. So let's quickly I'm just going to ignore it, and we're going to go do the rundown really quickly. Number one, the rundown is basically short, quick answers to the best of your ability and go. What was specifically designed to be the size and weight of a baseball? Specifically, they said we're going to make this the same.
Grenade, right?
Yeah, 100%. Ooh, this guy's good. Which player had the longest hitting streak in MLB history?
Joe DiMaggio.
Well, 2 for 2. And this one's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. What year did the first recorded baseball game take place? And for a bonus, where?
Recorded.
Yeah, I don't know what they meant by that when I was looking this up.
First one on the books.
Yeah.
Probably in the 20s. In Yankees. I don't know. I don't know that one.
You ready for this? And I think by recorded, they found like mention of it in a law in Pittsburgh, PA, and it was 1791, and it was a mix between. It was early baseball. It was a mix between what's the one that the British try to play? Cricket, and then there's another one too. It was like a combo of those two.
Polo.
No, it's like a baseball type of game, but whatever. 1791. Okay, it's no problem. That was a hard one. Who was the first pitcher to throw over 100 miles an hour?
Recorded? Because like they took because I know like back in the day, Bob Feller, Nolan Ryan, those guys threw hard. I'm sure they did it, but you want recorded like actual. There was a guy from the Cubs, I know.
I'll give you a hint.
I can't remember his name.
You already said the name.
You already said the name.
Oh, Bob Feller?
No, it was Nolan Ryan. Yeah.
Was it the Bulldog?
Oh.
This one I'm going to ask one of the Marines in our room just to see what happens here.
Oh, boy.
I want to see what happens here. Which hand does I'm not going to ask Jeremy. I'm going to ask Frank because Jeremy played baseball. Which hand does a right-handed mitt fit on?
Say what now?
You have, let's say, I'm a righty. I'm a righty, so I need a right-handed mitt. Which hand do I put it on my right hand?
If you throw right-handed, it's going to go on your left.
There we go.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
Nice. Let's get metaphysical.
All right, Frank. What phone? If you're right-handed, what phone do you hold? What hand do you hold your phone in?
I can't think anymore. I'm done for the rest
Jeremy, we're reeling it in. We're reeling it in.
Well, when you're driving and Jesus.
Oh, I thought you were talking about why.
God.
If today was the now we're going to move on to the metaphysical. If today was the last day of your life, what would you want to do?
I want to be with my family, my kids and my wife and my mom, if I could, and brothers and sisters, all my family.
When you're 90 years old, what will matter to you most in the world?
My legacy, like I want to see my kids live a fulfilled life and their kids. And if I see them succeed, then I think my life will be good.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? As you become a parent, it's like nothing else matters. Like if someone came to the door and they were like, we have 1,000 gallons of boiling oil out here. If you jump in, your kids will have health and the best lives they could possibly live. I'd be like, all right, let's go. And I would jump in, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's what you leave behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, in your opinion, who is the best music group that ever existed?
the best music group that ever existed.
And I would take solo artists, whatever.
Don't you say Nickelback.
Nickelback.
I mean, I love all kinds of music, but I mean, it's got to be some, probably Aventura from, bachata, Dominican music. So, or
as I was going to say, you could say anything. You could say any Dominican band. We'd be like, all right,
stick to your roots. I appreciate that.
Awesome, man. Well, you didn't disappoint. Great story, military entrepreneurship, great outlook on life. And I think the reason why we tell stories like this is because, we're reaching veterans, and there's people out there that feel like they've reached a dead end and whatever. And there's always something. There's always something. And I understand when people, you have like some real deep organic depression and stuff like that. And that's difficult to work through. But when you're having just the what am I going to do with my life? There's always an answer. And I'm glad I have folks like you that can come on and tell us that story.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story. And I just want to do a quick plug here before we get out to, if you guys have a chance to go to the Museum of American History, the Smithsonian, starting in July, they're going to have the Play Ball exhibition there. They're going to have stories, artifacts of baseball greats, and also local community people like myself about inspirational stories about how baseball changed their life and their community. It's called Play Ball.
Awesome.
And yeah, if you guys want to get a hold of me, just go to my website, baretbats.com, or at Baret Baseball in Instagram or Twitter, or just Google my name and you'll find me.
Yeah, it's pretty easy if you do Juan Baret. And it's one R, Baret. Baret. Sorry, I keep saying Barrett because of the gun.
He's not the 50 cal.
I'm a gun fan.
The gun, Beretta. Yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah. But and I guess I forgot to bring that up. The whole Smithsonian thing. That's really cool. What's that like? I mean, it's a premier museum of the United States. Like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of unreal. I still don't, it's still trying to pinch myself that I'm going to be part of such a great, and I've been working with them for like 3 years on this. And I'm also in their book too, the Play Ball book. And some of my bats are going to be in the gift shop, handmade bats. Wow. And it just gives me a platform to share that baseball is great, and anything that whatever limitations you may have with poor, black, white, it doesn't matter, rich, poor, you could do something, in your life, no matter what. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like you have to get, be a millionaire or whatever. You could be successful in your own home or in your own town. It doesn't have to be huge. You just have to make a difference wherever you are.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll end on that. That was well said. So check them out, baretbats.com, B-A-R-E-T, Baret Bats, BARET-BATS.com. Pick yourself up a bat. I'm going to buy a bat. I saw that American flag bat. I love baseball bats. I know it's weird, but when you pick up
right
like
here.
a real well,
I call these the Star Spangled Batter, and they're all hand signed, handmade, and they'll be personalized. I could even put your logo in here, do whatever. And even though they're all American, they all look the same. They're all unique because it has exactly 50 stars. And each one is put in randomly anywhere. And,
oh my gosh.
It's a piece of art.
21 gun bat is going to go back. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. We're definitely do that. I'll reach out. Awesome. Juan, thank you for coming on. 2 years in the making. Finally, we got you on. Great story. Thanks. And I'll see you up at Burbiz whenever they do that again up in DC.
All right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I appreciate having me on.
All right.
Hey, man.
Thanks,
Take
man.
care.
God, what a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. No, nice guy. Yeah, I mean, that's when you decide to go into business, like Patrick Little, who is the guy that did Mission Essential Gear?
Yeah.
We've had a bunch of entrepreneurs on. That's a tough thing, man, because you know that most fail, right? So you're like, can I do this? And your odds are stacked against you. Mike Stojic. I mean, but you know what's interesting, and maybe it's just because the people that we've talked to are the ones that have been successful, but every veteran entrepreneur that we met have been successful. So I don't know if it's just like we don't care about getting our asses kicked.
It's we know that failure breeds success. You can't learn.
That's true.
You can't learn from winning.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're winning all the time, you're not learning anything because you're constantly there. When you fail, that's when you say, okay, what went wrong and what do I need to not do to do better next time?
Right.
Yeah. One of the biggest lessons in life.
Failures build your success. Period.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's all I got for this week of the 21 Gun podcast. Good show. I enjoyed it.
It was a good time, man. Yeah, I'm gonna look up his bats, and I might order one too.
Yeah, dude, I want a 21 Gun bat. Cool. Baret bats, Baret bats.
Jeez.
BARET
Just get a 50 cal to stop.
Here's the thing. Did you see Mark Serbo put up a video? The one where I can't remember the guy's name. Kentucky Ballistics exploded his gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark Serbo actually he's starting to go through the guy who makes the guns because he's like, I mean, to be honest with you, I would still love that 50 cal, but I would be nervous about shooting, even though it's so like it's not going to explode.
Listen, as long as you have Ear Pro, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, you mean like this?
Oh, Willie. God,
I was
love
going to
that
say
video.
about a certain person throwing a spear with Ear Pro, but
Oh God. Oh, dude, we made it the whole show. The whole show. You can.
We didn't say who and where and what.
we did not.
We were merely suggestive.
Oh, I forgot. Good news.
Oh, is there?
So I have avoided the VA for the last 15 years, 17. I don't know how long I've been out. How long ago was Nam when I was back there dropping Agent Orange?
I was there yesterday.
But do you know what? I'm so sick of hearing buzzsaws in my ears and not being able to hear the TV.
What do you mean not hearing?
Not hearing. Yeah, no, I do hear stuff that's not there. Yeah, the voices that tell me to shoot you guys right now. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why the gun is over here.
So I call. It was easy. I called the VA here in Durham and I was like, I can't hear, and they're like, oh, okay. Can you come in on Wednesday? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, we'll see you then, Mr. Sullivan. Like, that was it.
So that's because right now, that's because of COVID and the restrictions. They're not doing a lot of in-person.
Yeah, but this one I have to be in person.
That's what I'm saying is, so if you have to be in person, they will bring you in. If you don't, they'll call.
Because there's room
now. Because there's room, yeah.
Now, if
Cool.
if you get a chance, since you're closer, try to get all of your stuff done here in Clayton.
Yeah, I just want to be able to hear. my biggest fear is they're going to be like, you're good enough. And then I'm like, all right, I guess I have to go around just saying, excuse me, what? But yeah, so next week, who do we have on? Let me take a look at my little black book. This is Jeremy Walton. His because I kept losing stuff, and he's like, put it in a book. I think it was you.
Yeah, it was me. It sure was me. I kept telling you.
6/17 is today. We had Juan Baret. Next week we have Naked and Afraid's EJ.
Yes.
Wow.
I know. I'm really looking forward to that.
And now Frank's like, I wish I was here next week.
You can be here.
am
He's
here
coming.
next week.
Yeah. We're gonna have
a
duo.
full couch because it's gonna be Nick,
'Cause Nick's
Frank.
gonna be here.
No, all I had was two.
Oh, I
coming
think
on.
Matt was coming. He talked about
Was he?
coming too. Or no, it was
No.
it was you and Nick, and then we're gonna have EJ, but he's gonna be. Oh wow!
I mean, they can come. And
We're gonna have a full room.
As I can't even think of her name now. I'm not even going to do that joke. Hit me, please. And then the following week, July 1st, we have Sam. We have Sam Ekholm. Check him out on YouTube. Sam Ekholm, Eckholm. He's an Air Force guy who is a combat photographer, so he gets to do all the cool things. Then we have Dan Flores coming on July 8th. He's part of like every single attack helicopter movie that's ever been made. Apache Warrior, great flick. If you guys got to see Apache Warrior, there's this old grizzly Apache copter pilot guy with his the cavalry hat, and he's sitting there in the middle of the meeting or the interview, and he goes, and then he looks and he's like, got to kill something every day.
Nice.
Dan Flores will be on. Then we have Bulkhead Energy Drinks. I forget the name of the dude on the 15th. And then we have, so we got a lot of cool things coming up. Room on the Couch starting, I don't know, mid-July. So if you guys want to come on the couch,
Bro.
just let me know. Other than that, I have nothing left except for the final video. Final video is we showed last week a Vietnam era guy blasting away with the M60. This guy, World War II.
Nice.
So we'll see you next week, and we'll play out with this.
We had a World War II veteran come down and fired our piece. Personally, just looking at him and having those conversations with him, it's just like having the conversations with one of my soldiers. You know, it's like he never left.
Sergeant Baret, he was the section chief. This is my section chief, Sergeant
My
Baret.
job, that's what I had. I was chief of section of 105 millimeter howitzer.
And it's our heritage right in front of us. And to see his joy and excitement, you know, reliving those memories, and even just some of the things he was saying, we knew he was an old redleg at heart. So it was awesome to give him that opportunity.
Bless you.
I couldn't believe that he was so aware of everything. It makes me appreciate it even more, you know, that people like him are still around and can give back to the younger ones and show another generation what it was like to be like him.
Agree? Oh, yeah.
He had like such an exuberance when he was talking about it, and he was like, his affection for the weapon was so genuine.
Oh, I love that thing. Every now and then,
This guy's a
everybody
killer
else
at heart.
Yeah. He knows.
He's like, you know how many
He was
Krauts
so
I
full of knowledge.
eviscerated?
It was really exciting to listen to him talk.
Last lanyard I pulled was 1944, and we was firing at some Japanese caves.
A man of his age, and he was sharp. He was sharp as a tack, and he was funny, and
Where are they
it was
from?
great to listen to.
Rhode Island.
Yeah,
way
it sounds like
back
Rhode
as
Island,
I go
Massachusetts, somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Reflection 3349.
He's just sitting in his jitney. That's awesome.
Boy, that is really, really something. How about that?
He didn't even
I
flinch.
love it.
He's like,
He didn't even flinch.
here he goes.
Didn't even flinch.
He's like, too bad
He's
there's
like,
no enemies at the end of that.
Right?
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.